HK, send me a message, I'll get you that at some point. So this is SireneRacker, dived with Pigeon of War. Now, both of them told me this was an epic, epic game that needed to be watched. So, I'm watching. Only using the standard camo. Such a beautiful ship. I love the... Second. Okay, anyway. Let's zoom. Maximum. Oh yeah, and you've got the cool boom flag, so we gotta represent Pigeon's cool boom flag, right? Good enough. Graf Zeppelin, point and click adventure. Well, yes. And you're using the 2 fighter and 3 dive bomber loadout that I like to use. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so now we're following, now we're on Sirene's view. The reason I like using the 2 fighter setup, there is also a 1 fighter setup, and it's like a mass blob of fighters, is that the 2 fighters gives me a lot more flexibility. He's up against a Shokaku, which has at least 2 fighters unless it's stock, and it could even have 3 fighter squadrons. So it's very important for you to have that idea of what's going on where, and be able to counter stuff. Now this is a tier 9 battle, so he's got a Musashi that he can farm, a Roma he can farm, a Neptune, Buki, Cleveland, Chapayev, Atlanta, all of those are your food. Cossack you can't do much damage to, and North Carolina and Missouri and Key all have pretty good HE, or good anti-air. It is somewhat of a fishing div, right? The kid probably has defensive fire. Pigeon is going into B-cap now with that. I would assume that they're going to try to talk about luring the fighters in, using defensive fire and smoke, all that kind of stuff. Some really good tricks there. Now it's Cossack versus Kid. Fortunately, Pigeon is kind of by himself there. There's a Neptune, North Carolina that can all be shooting at him. Well, you've got those fighters out of the way. That's useful. Pigeon continues to take hits though. Wonder if he's lit up on the Cossack's Hydro. Looks like he might be. Green moving his AP bombers. C-cap, yep, there goes Pigeon. And so those AP bombers now, he can hit the Chapayev and do a lot of damage. The Key, I think he can do some really good damage to as well. Roma, I think, I haven't dropped on the Roma that much. There's the fighter squadron. Yep, time to bug out. One thing I hate when I play Graf Zeppelin is running into good carrier players that know how to micromanage their fighters. Because you just can't get anywhere, especially if the enemy balls up, which they are kind of doing. They're putting out a hit on Pigeon of War. It's interesting how the Cossack is talking about being one-shotted by the Graf, because all the players in this game, he has the least likely chance of being one-shotted by the Graf. There you go. He is telling him about that. Lost a couple bombers hanging them around. Fighters have gone back, so time to try. Nope, there's the fighters again. Yeah, Pigeon's a good example of why you don't want to contest the BCAP at start. Absolutely. This is also the part that I hate with carriers, is you get this back and forth, just one side goes one way, and then you gotta go the other side, and you gotta go the other side, and it's just constant, like, when am I gonna actually get to do something? Strafe was a little bit late there, and unfortunately the Bama took a couple of hits because of that. I don't know. I always find that their fighters get over, you know, into my bombers quicker than my fighters get to their bombers almost all the time. Really frustrating. One thing I'm looking forward to with the carrier rework actually is I don't have to play this stupid back and forth game with where are my bombers, where are my fighters, where are his bombers, where are his fighters. I can just focus on one. Edinburgh is stern onto the Roma and the key. Probably not a good idea. There's the Torp bombers. As the Alabama gets farmed to death. Down 3 ships now to only have 1 kill. Green's bombers have been completely ineffective because of those fighter squad. But both of those fighters are out of position now. This is Serene's attempt, or a chance to get in there and to do some damage. And you're going to see he's going to take it right here. Dropping on the Roma, looking like you're doing manual drops. I'm not that good with manual drops with this ship yet. Look at that. 2 citadels. That's it. Oh well. I was hoping for more. But watch out for the strafe. He's going to probably strafe the entire... Nope. Buffalo coming in with that clutch defensive fire. I have died, sitting broadside, that's huge. Going for the strafe. Oh, beautiful strafe there. 6 plane kills. Didn't even get a chance to drop his bombs, or torpedoes. Beautiful. Yeah, Pigeon had no escape route in BCAP, and that's ultimately what sealed the deal for him. So let that be a lesson. Destroyer players always go in with an escape route. Monarch is going into sea now. That's a pretty bad idea. And you can see he might take some torps on the bow. Yep, he did from the Neptune. Yeah, CVs is boring, and part of the reason because you're because you guys are kind of evenly matched in skill, and it's just this back and forth, and you guys hopefully are seeing that now. Yeah, Buffalo's in a good spot to start dropping on the key because he can use his anti-air to help. Yep, see, even the Shokaku is getting frustrated with the fighter back and forth. And he's got the better planes. Buffalo has to stay alive. And then you can help drop on the key. That's the key. Daniel dropping on the key. That's tough. He's turning in. Look at that. 1 citadel, 2 and that's it. decent damage there. Personally, I think if you would have just auto-clicked him and done more... I don't know, I've had some really good rolls just auto-clicking. I think almost because the circle is a little bit larger, so you have a better chance of bombs hitting more to the lever. I don't know. Like I think when you do the manual drop, you have to really know where to aim. Versus I think with the auto, you have a better chance of just hitting our citadel anyway. Graf is the carrier that I play when I just don't want to think too much. Although, like I said, when you come across a good, skilled enemy carrier that's got 2 planes, 2 fighter squadrons, well, then there's more. Totally balanced indeed. A little bit late there with the strafe, but you still managed to take out those 2 torpedo bombers. Going for the others now. Edinburgh takes out the key, that's pretty important. Yep, Taipan versus Kaga is another one of those. And that's part of the reason why I don't like to play my Kaga at tier 7. Unless it's an operation, but even then most of the operations have like max anti-air builds with those captains for some odd reason, so... The other thing I'm noticing is that Sirene isn't grouping up his dive bombers. It's one thing that I like to do is get them to be as tightly packed as possible, so that when I drop it's like one giant woof, you know? Yoko. Now, unfortunately, I kind of know the results of the battle. I'm not going to share them with you guys, but... Nice strafe there, right into his other bomber squadron coming in. It's good. So, the enemy carrier is kind of throwing away his bombers a little bit more so than you are doing. But when it comes to the air war and, you know, strafey stuff, he seems to be almost as mastered. Not sure why you're pulling your other bombers away. Maybe it's just to get that catapult fighter out. See his fighter there exits strafed. You wanted no part of it. That's why you got 1 free fighter kill, which is fine. You now have your superiority. The question is, who are you going to go after now? I probably would have turned around and dropped on the Musashi, personally. Looks like you want the Roma. Yeah, the exit strafing penalty that they don't have is kind of frustrating. What Ammon here is talking about there is that when you exit strafe out of a dogfight, a locked-in dogfight, you lose 1 plane, unless you're playing Saipan, in which case you don't lose a plane. Goodbye. That is the Graf Zeppelin, coming out like the hand of God, saying, "Be gone." Pigeon likes what he sees. Yeah, Cleve, Atlanta, and Missouri, that's true. So, dropping on the Musashi would be great, but you've got the Atlanta there and the Cleveland that are gonna probably be max anti-air or close to max anti-air, which means it's gonna be very difficult to get that drop. The nice thing is at this point your team is kind of balled together at sea, so it's going to be easier to try to help defending them. I don't like that the Jean Bart is turning out like this. I think he had a very good position earlier. Now... I mean, I know what he's trying to do, right? Oh, the Atlanta goes down. That's huge. He's trying to bow into the threat ahead of him. Probably ignoring Neptune. Here come the airplane. Okay, now he's got a better chance of dropping because the Atlanta's gone. But the thing is, with the Edinburgh and John Bart there, it's very easy for the enemy to just focus fire. You can see that here, I think. Focus Missouri, I get the Musashi. Or the Musashi can just... Question, of course, is where is the Cleveland? And at this point, it looks like you're thinking that the Jean Bart is going to go for the Ram, so you might as well go for the Missouri. And of course, the Jean Bart, nope, he does hit him. And it is now officially Solo Warrior time. Oh god. Why didn't he drop? Why didn't that bomber drop? Misclick maybe? Oh boy, there goes that squadron. That's unfortunate. It is now 1 against 4. The enemy wins in 5 minutes. And you're in a position that you're probably going to get spotted pretty darn soon by that Missouri. Doing some scouting now, trying to figure out where everybody is. I think if that Jean Bart really was going to go for the Ram on the Musashi, he should have shot the Missouri with his final salvo. Didn't. Now the nice thing about the Zeppelin is it's got the secondaries. So something, but you're not going to be able to face tank a Missouri. Oh, some salt in the chat. Okay, so this guy is pretty darn low. You're gonna get him with your strike here, hopefully. Once that's done, I guess you can go for the Neptune, and you can move your carrier against their Shokaku, and you can secondary gun down the Shokaku. Spending a little bit of time here trying to micro your bombers, and I think just so you can keep one active, makes sense. What do you guys think? You think he's going to get the Solo Warrior? Been a pretty damn good game so far. Oh, boy. Chances have just gone up for Solo Warrior, man. Full speed after that Shokaku. Let's gun him down secondary style. Vote now on your phones. Exactly. Pigeon of War saying you are a hero. 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. He has to kill both ships at this point. There's no way he can win on points. And that's why I'm thinking you gotta get those secondaries in on this. But you gotta get this Neptune out of the way too. For whatever reason, the carrier's given up on his planes almost. Or maybe he's... I don't know what he's doing, because we haven't seen his planes in a long time. Killed 28 of them, then gotta have other planes. 1 Citadel. No Citadel. Oh, that's the thing about RNG. RNG, come with RNG, go with. Oh, there's the bombers. Now, he's got only AP, so he's got the ability to fire. And you've got the ability to kind of dodge a lot of that, which is handy. Another Citadel. You've got Hydro, you've got defensive fire, so you got all the fixins. I think it's time to go into... There we go. It's time to go into... Time to watch... secondaries. Now, you don't have Hydro running. Hydro would be very handy right now, and you get it for free. There you go. You can just do it. And there goes through your dive bombers. Which means now it's carrier on carrier. And you've got the secondary power. You don't. Oh, beautiful dive bomb, double citadel. Another 4 citadels total there. These dive bombers mean business. And your secondaries. Pigeon wants this kill. I think we all do. 46 seconds left, guys. 46 seconds left. Will he do it? Got the bomb hit in there, but not enough. On fire. Plane's taking off. Got it. With 23 seconds left in the game, he gets high caliber. He gets solo warrior. I think that's a Kraken as well. And a very salty chat. And this replay is why Graf Zeppelin was never shown again, and why it's difficult to ask the community to balance a ship, because the community, of course, wants their investment to be super duper overpowered. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging around. I am unfortunately out of code, so I can't do another raffle. So, until next time, we'll see what happens. Next week, I do intend to stream again at 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, just like before. And I hope you guys enjoyed today. We did the clan battle, which was pretty awesome. I've never done something like that before, so maybe we can look into doing some of that again. We got some pretty good games in. We did the Salem, which was pretty awesome. The Z39, a lot of good learning opportunities there. Polecat doing just Polecat things in the daring. Leopard 9 with, that was, I believe, that was a win, yeah. Ramming to end into that ranked battle there and get the win, which is awesome. Counter Gambit showing the difficulties of moving from tier 5 to tier 6 in the carrier, and we finished up with SireneRacker with the stupid overpowered Graf Zeppelin, which now I want to fire up my game and play myself. I'll tell you what, if you don't have a Graf Zeppelin, fun story time. Saipan, when it first came out, I used to run the 3 fighters and 1 dive bomber squadron because it was so much fun, because those bombers just hit, and they hit like a truck. And one of the things that I absolutely loved with it, was the fact that you could just go and just drop on anything, and they were HE bombs, so you could drop on destroyers, cruisers, all that kind of stuff. I called them my judgment bombs, and I would go off in alt chat and I would say, so and so, prepare to be judged. And it was so much fun watching them get and assault and stuff like that. And of course now Graf Zeppelin gives me the judgment bombers in a whole new fashion. Alert, Caligula, everybody else, thanks for hanging out. We need to raid somebody. Who should we raid? I see Ashley's online. I see General Dort is online. Anybody else out there that you would like us to raid? Natzer is online. He's got a lot of viewers though, so whatever. Highly, a bunch of others. I'll tell you what, we're gonna raid General Dort because he raided me before. We're gonna pay him back. All right, guys, raid. Right. Yes. As always, guys, when you go in, just do the little wavy hand thing and say hi. Okay? We're gonna raid in 3, 2, 1, go. See you all later.